I, 32M, come from a business family. Our dad started Medical Equipment Solutions 35 years ago from a small warehouse, and over the years it grew into one of the largest medical equipment suppliers in our state. Growing up, we weren't super rich but definitely comfortable. My elder brother Sam, 38M, and I were really close back then. He would always look out for me, help me with homework, and even taught me to drive. Sam joined the business right after college at 22. I was still in high school then. Dad was really proud of him because Sam had a natural talent for sales. He could convince anyone to buy anything. Dad would always tell me how Sam reminded him of himself when he was younger. I joined the business 5 years after Sam, at 23. Initially, I handled the operations side while Sam managed sales and client relationships. We made a great team. Sam would bring in the clients, and I would ensure smooth delivery and after-sales service. Dad was happy seeing us work together. Things started changing about 7 years ago when Dad got diagnosed with lung cancer. He fought it for 2 years but eventually passed away 5 years ago. In his will, he left the business to both of us minus 55% to Sam and 45% to me. His reasoning was that Sam had been in the business longer and was more experienced. I was completely fine with this arrangement. At first, everything went smoothly. Sam handled the commercial side while I focused on operations, logistics, and technology upgrades. We had different management styles. Sam preferred the traditional way of doing things while I wanted to modernize our processes. This sometimes led to disagreements but nothing major. The problem started about 2 years ago. I noticed Sam having frequent meetings with board members without informing me. When I asked about these meetings, he would brush it off saying they were just casual catch-ups. Around the same time, I also noticed that my suggestions in board meetings were being shot down more frequently, even though they had merit. Things got suspicious when one of our longtime employees, Mike from accounts, came to me privately. He told me that Sam had asked him to adjust some numbers in my department's performance reports. Mike refused and Sam threatened to fire him. Mike had worked with Dad for 20 years and couldn't stand seeing the company being mismanaged, which is why he decided to tell me. I started digging deeper and discovered that Sam had been systematically undermining my work for over a year. He had been taking credit for my successful projects while blaming me for any failures. He had manipulated financial reports to make my departments look less profitable than they actually were. He even started spreading rumors among board members that I was too young and inexperienced to handle my responsibilities. When I confronted Sam in his office with proof, his response shocked me. He didn't even try to deny it. Instead, he said, "Look, little brother, you're just not cut out for this. Dad gave you way too much responsibility. The business would do better if I had complete control. Just sell me your shares and find something else to do." I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My own brother, who I had looked up to my entire life, was trying to push me out of our father's legacy. But I wasn't going down without a fight. While Sam was busy playing politics, I had spent countless nights studying business management and working on improving our company's processes. I gathered all the evidence, the doctored reports, emails where Sam took credit for my work, testimonies from employees he had threatened, and records of his secret meetings. Then I called for an emergency board meeting without telling Sam. In the meeting, I presented everything. The board members were shocked, especially Mr. Johnson and Mrs. Patel, who had been with the company since Dad started it. They couldn't believe that Sam would do this to his own brother. Sam tried to defend himself by saying that he was doing what was best for the company. But the evidence was overwhelming. After a month-long investigation, the board voted to remove him from his position. Since I had proof of financial manipulation, they decided to transfer his shares to me as compensation. When the decision was announced, Sam completely lost it. He started yelling and threatening everyone in the room. He even tried to physically attack me but was stopped by security. As they escorted him out, he kept shouting that I would regret this. My wife Lisa, 30F, has been incredibly supportive through all this. She actually never liked Sam much because she thought he was too controlling, but even she was shocked by how far he went. Sam's wife Rachel, 36F, came to our house several times, begging me to reconsider. She said Sam was just stressed and wasn't thinking straight. But this wasn't stress, this was a calculated betrayal that had been going on for months. Mom was devastated when she found out. She keeps trying to get us to reconcile, saying we're still brothers and family should stick together. Some relatives sided with Sam since he's the elder brother, saying I should have found a way to work things out. But most of them changed their tune after seeing the evidence. Sam has cut off all contact with me. He blocked me everywhere and has been telling everyone that I betrayed him and stole his share of the business. The past few months have been really tough, dealing with the business transition while also handling family drama. Sometimes I wonder if I could have handled things differently. Maybe there was a way to work things out without completely pushing Sam out. But then I remember how he had planned to do the exact same thing to me, and I know I made the right choice. Blood might be thicker than water, but trust once broken can never be fully repaired. Update 1: The past 2 weeks have been incredibly busy but productive. After taking complete control of the business, I've been working 12-hour days to understand every aspect of our operations. The most surprising thing is how much Sam had been holding us back with his outdated management style. One of the first things I did was promote Mike from accounts to head of finance. He's been incredibly helpful in uncovering the full extent of Sam's mismanagement. We discovered that Sam had been running the company like it was still a small family business, ignoring opportunities for modernization and expansion. Last week, we landed 3 major hospital contracts that Sam had been negotiating for over 2 years. Turns out, he never followed up properly with them because he was too busy with his political games. I personally went to meet these clients, and within a week, we had the contract signed. These deals alone will increase our revenue by 40% next year. But the biggest revelation came when several former employees started reaching out to me. Sarah, who used to be our marketing head, left 2 years ago because Sam took credit for her successful rebranding campaign. James from R&D quit because Sam refused to even look at his proposals for new product lines. Tom, our former operations manager, was forced to resign because he refused to manipulate reports about my department's performance. I've been reaching out to these people, and many of them have agreed to come back. Sarah is now our marketing director, and her first campaign has already brought in numerous inquiries. James is heading our new R&D department, and we're developing 2 new product lines that Sam had previously rejected. The most shocking discovery came yesterday when Mike and his team did a thorough audit of our accounts. They found that Sam had created several fake vendor accounts and had been transferring company funds into them for years. These weren't large amounts that would raise immediate red flags, just small regular transfers that added up to almost $300,000 over 5 years. When Mike showed me the proof, I felt physically sick. This wasn't just about pushing me out anymore. Sam had been stealing from the company for years. He had been stealing from Dad's legacy. The board suggested taking legal action, but I decided against it for Mom's sake. She's already heartbroken about our fallout, and I don't want to make it worse by getting Sam arrested. Lisa thinks I'm being too soft. She says Sam deserves to face consequences for his actions, and that by letting him get away with theft, I'm setting a bad precedent. She might be right, but I just can't bring myself to take legal action against my own brother, no matter what he did. The money is gone anyway, and the company is doing much better now. We've implemented strict financial controls and a new audit process. Every transaction now needs multiple approvals, and we have monthly audits instead of annual ones. What's interesting is how the family dynamics have shifted. Uncle Rick, who initially sided with Sam and called me an ungrateful little brother, called yesterday to apologize. He had heard about the embezzlement from one of the board members. Aunt Susan, who hasn't spoken to me since the board meeting, sent a long email saying she now understands why I did what I did. Mom is still struggling to accept everything. She came to my office today, crying about how she raised us better than this. I showed her some of the proof of Sam's actions, but I couldn't bring myself to tell her about the embezzlement. Some truths are better left unsaid. The employees seem happier now. We've improved the benefits package, introduced performance bonuses, and started an employee suggestion program. The toxic environment that Sam created is slowly disappearing. People are no longer afraid to speak up or share ideas. I've also started a management trainee program, something Sam always opposed. We're giving fresh graduates a chance to learn and grow with the company. Dad always believed in giving people opportunities, and I want to continue that legacy. I'm working on expanding our product line and exploring new markets. We're also upgrading our technology and automating many processes that Sam insisted on keeping manual. The business is growing faster than ever, and for the first time, I feel like I'm truly honoring Dad's legacy. Lisa has been my rock through all of this. She helps me maintain perspective when I start doubting myself. Sometimes I still can't believe how things turned out, but I know I made the right decision. The company is thriving, our employees are happy, and we're growing in ways that Sam never allowed. Update 2 yesterday was one of the strangest days of my life. I was having dinner with Lisa when our security system alerted us that someone was at the gate. When I checked the camera, I saw Sam standing there, looking nothing like his usual well-groomed self. He looked like he hadn't slept or shaved in days, wearing wrinkled clothes that seemed too big for him. At first, I considered not letting him in, but Lisa convinced me to at least hear what he had to say. The moment he walked into our living room, I could smell alcohol on him. He practically collapsed onto our couch and started rambling. Turns out, Sam had taken all his money, including what he had stolen from the company, and invested it in some cryptocurrency scheme. One of his old college friends had convinced him that this was a guaranteed way to multiply his money quickly. The friend promised returns of 300% within 3 months. Sam, desperate to prove he could be successful without the family business, fell for it. The scheme turned out to be a complete scam. Not only did Sam lose his initial investment, but he had also taken out loans using his house as collateral. He lost everything, all his savings, the house, even his car. But that wasn't even the worst part. Rachel had no idea about any of this until the bank sent a foreclosure notice. When she confronted Sam, he finally broke down and told her everything, including how he had been stealing from the company for years. She was disgusted, not just by the theft but by how he had tried to push me out of the business. That was the last straw for her. Last week, while Sam was out trying to find a job, Rachel packed up her things and the kids and moved in with her parents. She left him a note saying she was filing for divorce. She couldn't trust him anymore, and she didn't want their kids growing up thinking his behavior was acceptable. That's when Sam showed up at my door. He said he needed my help to get back on his feet. He wanted me to either give him a position in the company or lend him enough money to start his own business. He kept saying he had changed and learned his lesson. Lisa, who had been quietly listening until then, couldn't hold back anymore. She reminded him of how he had tried to destroy my career, steal my share of Dad's legacy, and how he had been embezzling money for years. She asked him if he had even come to apologize for what he did. Sam's response was telling. Instead of apologizing, he started talking about how he was still the elder brother and how I had an obligation to help him. He said Dad would be ashamed of me for letting my brother become homeless. That's when I'd heard enough. I told Sam that while I felt bad about his situation, I couldn't trust him anymore. The company was doing great now, and I couldn't risk bringing him back. As for lending him money, that was out of the question. He had already stolen enough from the company. He didn't take my refusal well. He started yelling about how I was heartless and ungrateful, how he had always looked out for me when we were younger. He said I was betraying the family by refusing to help him when he needed it most. I had to ask him to leave before things got ugly. Mom called me an hour later, crying. Sam had gone straight to her house and told her everything, making it sound like I was being cruel. She tried to convince me to help him, saying he was still my brother. I had to remind her about everything he had done. The next day, Rachel called me privately. She told me that Sam hadn't really changed at all. Even after losing everything, he was still trying to manipulate people. She revealed that she had caught him trying to take out loans in her name without her knowledge. That's why she left. She realized he would never change. I feel bad for Rachel and the kids, but I know I made the right decision. Someone who has betrayed you once will likely do it again. Sam had multiple chances to make things right, but he chose to play the victim instead of owning up to his mistakes. Update 3: A lot has changed in the past 3 months. The business has been doing exceptionally well. We've expanded into 2 new states and are in talks for our first international venture in Canada. The management trainee program I started has brought in some incredibly talented young people who are bringing fresh perspectives to the company. Sam tried to contact me several more times through different relatives. Aunt Susan called saying he was sleeping on her couch and needed help getting back on his feet. Uncle Rick came to my office saying Sam was ready to sign any legal document promising he wouldn't interfere in the business. Even our childhood friend Mark reached out, telling me Sam had changed and deserved another chance. I maintained my stance and refused to help. 2 weeks ago, Rachel's divorce was finalized. She got full custody of their kids with Sam getting supervised visits once a month. She told me that during the divorce proceedings, they discovered Sam had hidden gambling debts along with the cryptocurrency losses. The total amount he lost was way more than what anyone had imagined. Mom still thinks I should help him, but even she has started to accept that Sam brought this upon himself. Last week, during Sunday dinner, she didn't bring up Sam for the first time since everything happened. Instead, we talked about the baby Lisa and I are expecting, and how excited she is to become a grandmother. I heard through the grapevine that Sam finally moved to Arizona to live with some old college friends. He's apparently working at a car dealership now. Some relatives still think I'm cold-hearted for not helping my brother when he hit rock bottom, but they don't know the whole story. They don't know about the gambling debts or how he tried to take loans in Rachel's name. The company is reaching new heights. Our employee satisfaction scores are at 92%, and we recently won an industry award for innovation. The new product lines that James developed are doing incredibly well, and Sarah's marketing campaigns have made us the most recognized brand in our sector. Lisa is 5 months pregnant now, and we're expecting a boy. We've decided to name him after Dad. This has made me even more certain about my decision to keep Sam away. I don't want my son growing up around someone who thinks it's okay to betray family and steal from them. I've instructed all department heads not to share any information about the company with Sam or anyone asking questions on his behalf. Some people might think I'm being paranoid, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. Rachel told me that even after everything, Sam still talks about how he built this company and how I stole it from him. Mom asked me last week if I would ever forgive Sam. I told her that while I might forgive him someday, I will never trust him again. Some bridges, once burned, can't be rebuilt. I'm focused on building a better future for my family and creating the kind of legacy that Dad would have been proud of. The whole experience has taught me that sometimes the hardest decisions are the right ones. Blood might make you family, but trust and respect keep you family. I've stopped feeling guilty about cutting Sam out of my life. He made his choices, and now he has to live with the consequences. Life has become peaceful since I stopped engaging with Sam's drama. Lisa and I are excited about the baby, the business is thriving, and we're planning to build a new house next year. Sometimes walking away from toxic relationships, even if they're family, is the best thing you can do for yourself and your future.